Ladies and gentlemen, in the long and storied history of human civilization, few events have altered the course of history so profoundly, so irreversibly, and with such deep moral, philosophical, and scientific complexity as the creation and use of the atomic bomb. It was not merely a new weapon introduced in the arsenal of war. It was a life changer, a paradigm shift, a force that forever transformed how humanity perceives power, conflict, and its own potential for self-destruction. The atom bomb was born out of a fusion between scientific curiosity and political necessity. It represented the ultimate expression of human intellect, intertwined with the darkest corners of human fear. When the first bomb detonated over Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, the world entered an era from which there was no return. The flash of that explosion did not only destroy a city, it shattered illusions. It proclaimed loudly and tragically that humankind had now mastered the means to obliterate itself. What made the atomic bomb such a profound life-changer was not only its physical power, but the psychological and ethical impact it left in its wake. For centuries, war had been waged with the understanding of limits. Destruction was immense, but never instantaneous or total. With the atom bomb, we broke through those barriers. We created a force that could erase cities in seconds, alter climates, render lands uninhabitable for generations, and ignite fires that no fireman could extinguish. The bomb forced philosophers, leaders, scientists, and ordinary people alike to confront the reality that mankind's intellect had now far outpaced its wisdom. The balance of power on a global scale was no longer measured solely by economy or military strength in the traditional sense, but by nuclear capability. A new world order emerged, where diplomacy was guided as much by fear of mutual annihilation as by mutual understanding. The atom bomb also transformed science itself. What began as theoretical physics, a pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, suddenly became a key player in global politics and war strategy. The same quantum theories that once belonged in university lecture halls now had the power to shape empires and end wars. Scientists like Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, and many others found themselves no longer merely observers of the natural world, but active participants in shaping the destiny of humanity. The Manhattan Project wasn't just a scientific endeavor, it was a moral crucible. Many of its participants were haunted by the knowledge that they had created something simultaneously magnificent in intellect and monstrous in consequence. The age of innocence in science was over. From that moment onward, every scientific breakthrough would carry with it a burden, the question of its potential for destruction. On a geopolitical scale, the atomic bomb redrew the map of power. The post-war world quickly divided into two main blocks led by the United States and the Soviet Union, each racing to build larger and more sophisticated nuclear arsenals. The Cold War was less a traditional war and more a psychological standoff, powered by the fear of mutually assured destruction. The existence of the bomb did not eliminate war, but it transformed how wars were fought and, more crucially, how they were avoided. Diplomacy became an act of balancing not just interests and ideologies, but apocalyptic possibilities. The Cuban Missile Crisis, perhaps the closest we have ever come to nuclear war, is a chilling reminder of how one miscalculation could have ended civilization. The bomb, in its terrible paradox, has kept peace through the perpetual threat of war. The atomic bomb's impact extends even further, into our culture, our psyche, our collective understanding of human capability. Literature, film, philosophy, and art were all touched by the shadow of the mushroom cloud. From the dystopian visions of post-apocalyptic futures to the anguished writings of survivors, the bomb etched itself into the soul of humanity. Children in schools were taught to duck and cover. Families built fallout shelters. The concept of total annihilation became a tangible fear, not just a remote possibility. We came to live in what many have called the nuclear age, a time when existential dread fused with technological achievement in a way that no previous generation had known. We became gods with the power to create and destroy, yet also children, playing with fire whose consequences we barely understood. Yet in this bleak landscape, the atom bomb also sparked important questions and growth. It forced humanity to think harder about peace, about cooperation, about the shared future of the species. Organizations like the United Nations gained urgency. Treaties such as the Non-Proliferation Treaty Arms reduction agreements and disarmament efforts became essential tools in the maintenance of global stability. The bomb, for all its horror, also revealed a universal truth, that we are bound together by our vulnerabilities. No nation, no matter how powerful, could escape the consequences of nuclear war. This realization led to greater international dialogue, the emergence of peace movements, and a deeper appreciation for diplomacy and restraint. In its most ironic twist, the bomb that had the power to divide and destroy also forced us to consider unity as a matter of survival. In reflecting on the life-changing reality of the atomic bomb, we must not fall into the temptation of viewing it solely as a weapon of war. It is also a mirror that reflects both the brilliance and the blindness of humankind. It tells us what we are capable of when we unite our minds with a single purpose, but it also warns us of the abyss we can create when that purpose lacks compassion, foresight, and ethical grounding. We must remember that the bomb did not build itself. It was a product of human hands, human choices, human ambition, and so too is the future. Whether we use our knowledge to destroy or to heal, to dominate or to unite will always remain our decision. The atomic bomb changed life on Earth not only because of its force, but because it revealed the immense responsibility that comes with knowledge and power. It made us more aware of the fragility of our existence, the interconnectedness of nations, and the need for a moral compass to guide our progress. The mushroom cloud that rose over Hiroshima was more than a symbol of devastation. It was a turning point in the story of humanity. What we do with that turning point is still being written. Let us write it wisely. Let us ensure that the life changed by the atom bomb is not a life condemned to fear and destruction, but a life awakened to wisdom, peace, and a profound reverence for the power we now hold in our hands.